Hey, it's Bill again. That's a common name, huh? Anyway, so today's recipe is kind of like a combination of things, and you can do it a lot of different ways, and I think I've done it one or two ways in the past, but I just wanted to show you really how easy it is, focusing on different parts of it to make more sense to you. This is like I call it it's a roasted pepper dip, okay? So really what we're doing is I took some Anaheim peppers and I took some poblanos, and you put them in a bowl with olive oil and toss them around, throw them on a hot grill, and you wait for them to start blistering. Then you put them back in a clean bowl, cover them with plastic wrap, and let them sit for like 10-15 minutes till they start to cool down. You'll be able to tell because they start to cool, they're going to suck the plastic down. And then you can take them out and peel them. I usually cut the stem off, the stem end off, peel them, cut them open, and take all the seeds. And they really turn out pretty well. So, I've got a whole bunch of peppers here, and I'm going to make a whole bunch. But these things taste phenomenal just because they've been roasted. What would that be? Anaheim's roasted on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, I don't know. But anyway, so the first part of it is, I got a 8-ounce block of cream cheese. And it's always better to use block cream cheese. I don't know why, it's just my thing, and I'm sticking to it. So let's get this, and I've had it out for a couple hours, so it's really at room temperature. And basically I want to kind of get it knocked down here a little bit, and then we're going to break it apart. Well, how am I going to do that? I got juice of a pretty good sized lemon. I'm only going to put about half of it in because this was a big lemon. So we've got probably about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in here. Sometimes you buy a lemon, you get like no juice out of it, and then you buy a lemon and it's kind of like a quart. Okay. So as you can see, it's so soft that it's really starting to mix up. Okay, so let's start with some of the ingredients that we're going to do here. So I got some red onion. I went a little crazy, so once again, I only need about half a cup, so I'm going to put about half in here because that was kind of crazy overkill. I was just gotten watching TV. Dangerous too. And that's going to give you some kind of solid stuff that's going to really help stir up that cream cheese. And then I've got a couple cloves of garlic that I've minced up, and I also have on the bottom here a shallot because I had some left over and it was in the refrigerator. I'm like, let's use it, right? So I'm always trying to push that. When I'm getting ready to make something, I look in the fridge, look in the freezer, what do I got? And what can I make? So we really just want like this kind of flavor profile that's really interesting. This is something where I'm not going to put a whole lot of seasoning in. Everything's going to come just naturally from the shallot, the onion, the garlic, the roasted red peppers. Okay. I need to get this mixed up because it's too stiff, and if I had the peppers in here, I would just mutilate them. So next step is I need to get some sour cream, and I want about a cup. That's half of a container, right? So you can pretty well eyeball that. So another version you could do of this would be to same thing, add some grated cheese, you know, throw it in the oven in the end and heat it up. I think I've done that recipe, that version actually, but I wanted to do something really unique that had a lot of really good flavor, so I'm really trying to push this one. Okay. Now we're cooking. Alright, so what else do we need to add here? Well, remember we like smoked all these peppers, so I'm just gonna put a shot of smoked paprika in here. It's gonna add a little color, and that smokiness is gonna add some flavor. It's amazing when you're I think I said amazing 10 times already. It's funny when you're putting that in, you really smell that smokiness. And I need a little bit of vinegary stuff, so I want to put about a tablespoon of Frank's hot sauce. A little less if you're not keen on it, or you're afraid it's going to be too hot. And because we're really not putting anything extra in here, I do need like a pinch of salt. So whenever you do a pinch of salt, remember, put it in your hand, don't shake it in there. Literally grab a pinch and dance around. That was a small one, could stick in my wet hand. Alright. Perfect now, we're just looking really good. Smelling really good, looking good. And this is the kind of dip where let it sit in the fridge and it's just going to be really happy in an hour or two. Alright, worn out. So let's move on. If you notice, I got a cutting board here and it's got the little well and treat it's got around it, like if you were cutting you know, turkey or anything. But in this case, because I have these peppers, and by the way, I had gotten the grill out to make something, and I'm like, heck, as long as I get the grill out, let's roast these peppers. I wrap them in plastic, throw them in the freezer, and they're great. The only thing you want to make sure of when you get them out is you try and get as much of that water out as you can. So, I guess I need the bowl here somewhere. I don't know where. Let's throw it right here. And basically, I just start kind of chopping along. Cross cut because these are pretty wide. Boop. Boop. Some of them when I was stripping off the skin, they kind of fall apart. Sometimes they're whole. Like this one's pretty whole. And what's funny is that if you miss a little bit of the skin, believe it or not, when I thawed them, it peeled right off. I like the fact of these Anaheims. To me, they're really close to the family of chilies that come from the Hatch farm, you know, Hatch chilies, which are really good. A little extra kick to them. But this is second best because sometimes you know, we get hatch chilies here in the store like once a year. And they're here and gone before you know it. I think it was last year when I was trying to do this with the hatch chilies. They actually weren't great. They already looked like, you know how peppers sometimes will look like they've you know, got kind of the burned skin, like the brown, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of crazy. So these are the poblanos. They're a little heavier duty, and we just want to work those through. You see, the roasting part has already been done, so this is like the easy part. And I'm trying to keep them pretty big chunks. I do want to taste them, and if you run across a piece that's got what used to be the vein, you can just strip it right out. Because when I was doing this, they were pretty darn hot when I was handling them. Hope this is making you hungry, because it's looking really good. And like I always say, watch what you're doing when you have a knife in your hand. I do. Alright, let me rinse my knife and we'll finish this up. Get that out of the way. I'm going to get this out of the way. And I can get the cutting board out of the way. Let's go back to what we were doing. Water drops. Alright, let's see what this looks like now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So, when we put this in the fridge, obviously the cream cheese is going to set up again. And be a little thicker. Alright, so I will tell you, I thought this was really boring last time I made this, so I came up with another idea. I got a jar of roasted red peppers, and they were already sliced. And they're actually pretty good, but they add a lot of flavor, so I'm just throwing in a little bit of color, so nobody mistakes this for like spinach dip. Oh. Ooh. Man, this is like Flavor Town. I got a lot of chilies in here. And like I said, this is going to set up real nice. So what do you do with it? Well, I'm going to show you, but it's not going to be exact because, like I said, when it goes in the refrigerator, it's going to set. And right now it's a little bit runny. But let's just keep that. And if you had too much water from the chilies, you can always add a little more cream cheese, just soften it first. And, oh my lord, that fresh roast. Oh, and it's pretty mild. The biggest bite I taste is really from the garlic, and that'll mellow right out. But flavor of those chilies is just overwhelming. So, you know, what do you do? Well, in my house I would just be putting this out on the coffee table for everybody. But, you know, if that's not your gig, just find a smaller bowl so everyone doesn't eat too much. And doesn't that, just some, you know, Frito scoops of what I use. I got a whole big bag from, you know, one of those big stores that you go in, warehouse stores. So I could load this up because I'm going to eat a lot of this. In fact, really hungry. Wow. I'm telling you, believe it or not, those flavors are perfect. That little bit of Frank's, it's more kind of from the vinegar, but you know, what is hot sauce? It comes from peppers, right? So we're really trying to just bring it all together. Tastes like really scrumptious. You know, with the onion and the, all of those flavors, man. And that little bit of paprika, believe it or not, that smokiness is just going to kind of add to those fresh grilled peppers. And I just can't say enough, so I'm hoping that you really do try this. I'm hoping you really enjoy it. I'm hoping you're brave enough, because it takes a brave soul. And you know, there are other ways to roast peppers, but I really found that a grill is the smart way. But if you're desperate, I've had people tell me they do it in a hot oven. You know, you can Google that. I never recommend like trying to flame them like they do on TV, you know, on their gas burner. First of all, it makes a mess of your stove. But you know, when you're not paying for it, I guess you're okay with it, right? I really just want to eat a bunch of this. You don't have no idea. Anyway, hope you try it. I always have more recipes for you. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time with even more recipes. Have a great day.